Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are back in my sister and brother-in-law's garden. It is taking shape. I want to give you an update on the rock wall. It's looking absolutely beautiful. Pedro and his crew have just a couple little details to button up before we can get everything done back here, but we are going to do some planting today. You can see we've already laid some things out. I'm so excited, and I know Monica is excited.
Oh my gosh, I just can't believe Nick and I have to come out here like every day and just look and just sit and stare.
Isn't it fun?
We love it so much. It's making it feel like home and just...
Well, yeah, and you guys have picked out, like, look at all these plants. You guys.
Well, we went a little overboard.
Oh no, it's so fun. And I think we're gonna plant most of this stuff today. Maybe minus the stuff in this corner because we still are gonna need to use this rock. Let me just back up and show you what we've got going here. I mean, this rock wall has completely changed the entire look of this space, and I absolutely love it. They did a fantastic job.
It makes the yard seem bigger.
It does somehow, doesn't it? Yeah. Isn't that strange?
Maybe it's because there's more depth to it or something, more like different, I don't know, but it,
yeah.
So,
okay, I think the last video, I should have watched it back, but they had, I think, pretty much this whole wall done. They had these stairs in place, and they were starting this part right here. So you can see that they swung it over and it matches right here. And then there's another staircase, which is a little bit more narrow, like by maybe a foot, that goes up into the side yard. So you can see that this part is not done yet because what they're gonna do is line the fence with something to protect it. And then we'll put a little bit of fill in here, and we're going to remove the sod and fill just a little bit here to kind of level it up. And this is where the extra stones are gonna go. So right on the top of these stairs, there'll be kind of a little, it'll be a walkway, kind of landing pad walkway off of the patio. And there will be another planting bed right here because Monica's husband, Nick, is gonna be building a really neat trellis right here, and they're gonna grow honeysuckle on it. That'll be fun to see.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I'm gonna stand up right here and kind of show, yeah, look at this, you guys. Okay, so today Pedro is on his way. We are gonna be talking through the details here, and we're going to also be talking about the grass sprinklers because this area right in here is going to be grass. I did go through with my foot and I just made it kind of a line here, and hopefully you guys can see the line of the flower bed. And then over here it's just going to kind of have a gentle curve over to the rock wall there, and then this little spot will be grass, this will be flower bed. We are going to go ahead and plant all this stuff today because I think we'll stay out of their way enough of the sprinklers that they need to move to be okay. We did decide to do a living wall instead of a picket fence, and I love
so much. I'm excited about that.
I'm glad you suggested that because I think it would have been a little bit hard to add another hardscape element back here, especially something that would, you know, a standard picket fence is quite a bit higher than this rock wall, so we would have had a weird, So we've got some winter Gen Boxwoods which match I brought these conical boxwoods the other day, so the varieties will match. And then right beyond it, today we're going to paint out where the raised beds are going to go in here. We've got it all sketched out, but we also have the arbs here against the back fence line. And then Monica's picked out a lilac, which is going to be trained into tree form instead of a shrub, and it's going to kind of go over the walkway here. A Tickle Creek white bark birch.
Oh, one of my favorite plants.
It's so pretty.
We have out here.
We have one in our garden we planted last year, and it did great. So I think this is a really fun, I mean, this one grows 6 by 4. So it's a really perfect size to kind of add weight to this corner, but not take it over. And then this can kind of be the shining, like, it'll create the arch or the arbor over this side yard here. And then you can see there's a collection of plants up here along the wall, some of which are going to go up front. But here's a look. Let me stand in the back corner. So back corner here, you can see the whole thing. Oh, it just looks so great. We do have anchor pins for the arbor. We'll be putting that in today more solidly. And then there's also a stair. I don't think I showed that close up.
Oh, I love how this one turned out.
Yeah, that's just perfect.
Yeah.
That's easy access.
Well, and I can still get my cart over that really easily. When I, like the other day when I was bringing pots and bags of soil and stuff back here to plant my herbs and everything, and it was perfect.
Nice.
So that worked out really nice.
Also, when we get ready to do the beds, we made sure to keep a wide enough aisle so that when we come down here, you'll be able to just swing your cart right down the main aisle, right into this space.
Yeah.
Oh, let me show you close up here. They just did such precision work. I love it.
I love this rock.
Yeah, the color ended up being perfect.
Yeah.
It's got like some brightness to it.
It does.
You know?
A little bit of sparkle in the sun.
So what we're going to do is we're going to meet with Pedro, who should be here hopefully fairly soon. We'll go over some of those details. And then Monica and I are going to get the auger out, and we are just going to go to town measuring, planting, trying to get in as much as we can whilst staying out of their way in terms of like where they need to move sprinklers. They're not going to do that today. The thing with this project, we thought it was going to be a little less of a project than it turned out being. So that's what stretched it out as long as it has, because we've just had to wait for open days where Pedro has been able to bring his crew over. And that's okay, because we've got a lot going on at home as well, but that's why it's taken a while to get to part 2 here. All right, guys, we just met with Pedro. We got all the details worked out. He's gonna bring a crew back next week to finish up all the little details, but let me run over those things real quick with you before we start planting. Right over here, you can see a pink flag here and a pink flag over here. All they're gonna have to do is just cap those sprinklers. We're not gonna need those. This one here, I think they're going to move out just slightly, not much. This one will need to be moved in about 1.5 feet. This sprinkler is in a perfect spot, as is that one right there. They're gonna take all of our drip zones. So see that pipe right there? They've got 3 locations with drip zones that are just, you know, piped up like that. So they're going to go ahead and put the 90-degree fitting on there that goes to 1/2-inch drip tube and just leave it like that, so that when we're all done planting, we're going to go through and run the drip ourselves. And then right here, they're going to run some rebar into the ground, and they're going to build a little retaining wall so that the soil's not up actually on the fence. It'll be held up by a little wall that you won't see because it'll be behind everything. But they'll start that here, and it'll kind of gradually go down to where it meets up with the gravel over here, and then they'll bring up in enough fill dirt to level this up, and they'll continue with that pile of rocks I just showed you, making a little walkway to the gravel. He thinks it should be done pretty quickly.
Yeah, one more day.
One more day
is what he thought.
It was fun showing him though, because he hasn't seen back here since we put plants out.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, this is going to be so fun. It's so exciting when you, I don't know, when you work with somebody who has the same passion, and you can tell in the job he does. Again, he's from Fruitland Landscaping. He's a local landscaping company, but he goes all over our valley.
Yeah.
They are so busy right now. In fact, after I said it in the first video, I thought, you know, I'm going to Google him and make sure, you know, you can find him, and you can't. He's all word of mouth, and he is so busy. He's going to need to hire some more people, I think.
Yeah.
He does such amazing work. All right, guys, so first order of business, let me show you a sketch of the vegetable garden area. We're going to be doing some measuring before we start planting so that we make sure we're putting things in the right spot. And I really regret not having brought my notepad. But what we're going to do here is we are going to be measuring out, making sure there's enough room for a bench. This is kind of the layout of the vegetable garden space right there, but I've got everything all lined out based on the foot. So we're going to step everything off, mark it, and then we'll start planting. Maybe when I get home, I'll get some better video of my actual notepad so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. Oh, good. Taking tags off.
Yeah.
That's always a job and a half.
Oh, yeah. And all my sold tags are still on there.
Yeah. Better hang on to those sold tags, Monica. You can reuse those.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I'm going to start by measuring 9 feet from the fence, and we're going to draw a line. We'll measure 9 feet here because that's where the first raised bed will start. And we're just going to continue measuring and marking things. I will stop along the way and give you updates. Measuring is my favorite. Not my favorite. All right, guys, so we got it measured out. I just kind of wanted to stop and explain, even though there's not a whole lot extra to see, but you might notice we added, there's an airplane right there. We added a 4th boxwood because we're not centering the arbor in the exact center between the rock wall and the fence. We wanted it centered to where, you know, the raised beds make sense. There's going to be trellises with roses planted along the back, so essentially a flower bed. Then of course we've got this flower bed here. So if we were to center this, it would make it go this way a bit, and it would neck down the ability to have stuff over here. So I think it's going to work out beautifully. I also forgot Monica has a couple of climbing roses that we're going to put on the arbor today, but we did make marks. It's really hard to work in powder, you guys. We actually had to wet down the soil where we needed our marks to be, just so we had something to go off of. And I'm not sure you can see, we used the end of a rake to kind of map out our raised beds here. They're L shapes, kind of like the ones in our raised bed garden, just slightly different size. So it'll kind of open to a square in the center. And then as you walk back this way, you can see the paint line here. There's plenty of room between here and the fence and the arbs to put a bench in, and it'll be nice and open. And I was telling Monica that since this faucet is kind of tucked into the corner, might be a good idea to put like a 4x4 post out a little bit with a hose coil or a hose link.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Maybe you should have a hose link back here.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to make a look into that.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so then, you know, you're not fighting any kind of plants to get to it. It'll just be nice and open right here. Yeah, I think it feels really nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I love how it looks.
All right, guys, so that was the part I was least looking forward to.
Measurements.
Measurements are just the worst. I hate doing that. And I know everything is changeable, and I was telling Monica that, like, you know, it's kind of a scary thing when you're putting in a brand new space, especially if you don't do it all that often, because you think like, oh, once I get it planted, that's where it's going to stay. But you can dig anything up and move it. I've done it many times, but I think we're pretty darn close here. It'll be really nice once we get the raised beds built and set in this space, and then we can kind of shift things a little bit based on how it looks and how it feels to Monica and Nick. But we are going to start planting. We're going to start with this back hedge. We're going to move to the boxwood hedge and the climbing roses. Then we are going to start in with stuff over there. So what we're going to do in the end is I will take you through and tour you through the plants they've chosen so far. There's some really fun ones. Here we go, Monica. Let's go get the auger. All right, guys, we got as much done as we can today. We got 30 some plants in the ground, which, you know, I think was a pretty good amount. This was one of the harder planting projects I've done in a long time. I thought that this soil was going to be a lot looser than it is, and it could be because it's a new build home, and you know, a lot of times they have a lot of equipment around these homes and it can compact the soil quite a bit. But my auger was just like, we had to hand dig a lot of stuff, and it was tough digging. So I'm thankful we got what we did get in the ground. I'm gonna grab these plant tags really quick. Monica's just chilling.
Yeah.
We saved a bunch of these so I could show you everything that went in. So down in here, of course, we couldn't plant these today because they still have work yet to do. And we did not plant these two because we wanted to allow them access to all the rocks. When Pedro and his crew come back, they're gonna finish up with those so they can just scoot those plants out of the way. But everything else we got in, I'm just so excited about it. We had a heck of a time with that arbor because there is still a little bit of a slope. I mean, you don't want it to be completely flat. You want the water to still drain away. But we needed, you know, the arbor to be straight, and we couldn't get the stakes to line up right, and it was just kind of a beast.
That was a bugger.
It was a bugger. But we got the boxwoods in and roses. Those are Lady of Shallot. Oh, they're going to be gorgeous right there. I cannot wait to see. This is an 8-foot climber, so it's not enormous. I think it's a perfect choice for this location. The boxwoods here are winter gems, as are the cones right here. I picked these up at the garden center along with 2 others to go by our flower shed this spring. And then these 7 right here are ones that I wintered over behind our greenhouse. So I was really happy to bring those and put them somewhere in the ground. I think they're going to be very happy. And again, I know the back looks a little odd. I was telling Monica, like, the balance part of my personality wants to put 2 more Arborvitaes instead of a lilac. So you have to kind of use your imagination here and just imagine that being a green wall and not really being able to identify individual plants back there. And then that lilac, you know, will get quite good size and everything will kind of blend back there. I think it'll be a really pretty backdrop. So the North Pole's 3 to 5 feet wide. We wish that we would have spaced ours closer together at home, so we did that here so that they will be a nice solid green wall. And they grow 10 to 15 feet tall. So, you know, there'll be a beautiful screen back here. And then this is a not a President Lincoln. Hold on. It is? Mm-hmm. It is a President Lincoln. Isn't that pretty? So this one grows 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide. You're going to have to do some pruning, Monica.
Oh, yeah.
I was noticing as we planted it, look, it has a buds. It's going to bloom, Monica.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That'll be really pretty. So just imagine that being a nice arch. And then we started in this bed, we put 4 plants in here total, the 3 on this side and then the boxwood. So again, the Tickle Creek white bark birch grows 6x4, super winter hardy to zone 4, negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's just got a really pretty, just soft texture. Soft and fine, and the bark ages white as the tree matures. Down here, this is a Victoria rhubarb. That's going to be a really fun texture right here.
I'm going to love that and kind of have it coming over the wall a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and then strawberry rhubarb crisps in our future.
Yes.
So, you know.
Yes. Right behind this, you're going to be putting 3
Alnwick roses.
Anik.
Somebody told me how to actually pronounce it at work.
What was it?
A customer that came in because her husband was from England or something.
Yeah.
And I can't rember. Anik?
Yeah, I think somebody has commented that to me too.
Yeah.
Anyway, beautiful pink David Austin. So there'll be 3 of those that will be backing these plants right here. This right here is a Pinus Mugo Jakobsen. This is its full size.
So cute.
It is so cute. These little tufts. It's got such a neat structure and such a beautiful little evergreen accent that, you know, you can still, like, you don't need to worry about it coming over the rocks. We want to keep some of them open. Like the rhubarb can kind of come over here, but it'll be nice to have some seating area.
Yeah.
Honestly, down in here.
This will be right in front of the beds. So.
Right. Okay, let's go over to this other side. And this is kind of fun because, you know, Monica likes a lot of different plants, and so does Nick. Mm-hmm. So this part of the garden is going to be a little bit more like willy-nilly, right?
Kind of just what we like.
Yeah.
Like just pick out stuff we like and pop it in there.
And it's so fun. So starting in this corner, we have a pink Cascade flowering cherry. Look how pretty.
The blooms look like tutus.
Oh, and too bad it's already kind of done, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Shoot. Well, that'll be a really fun one to watch grow in that spot. This one right here, the double play Big Bang Spirea. This one grows, I think, 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. No, 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. Zone 3 through 8, and it blooms pink late spring. But look at that color. It's just got such a vibrancy to it.
And it's even more vibrant in early spring. It looks like fall. It's in fall color in early spring.
So like kind of the orangey, and then it kind of mellows to this. I wonder if it's going to deepen for summertime a little bit.
And I hope it goes to fall color. Like
I
kind of
think
goes
it's
back
supposed
to that. Yeah, and so I thought that'll give so much interest.
Yeah.
In 3 of the seasons at least.
This one right here, the Bush's Lace Engelman Spruce. It grows 15 feet tall, so it's going to be pretty good, strong vertical accent, but it stays 4 feet wide. So it's going to be a really beautiful vertical piece right here, and you'll still have room to put some stuff underneath it. Zone 3, hardy to zone 3. Next we have the Concord Barberry. Now this one grows about 4x4, beautiful deep color, and you can see the pale yellow blooms on it right here. We did a hedge of these in front of our townhouse, and I really, really liked them. And you can keep them shorn down to a nice tight sphere if you want, or you can let them just do their thing. This is a Springshine Forsythia. It grows 2 feet tall by 3 feet wide. So nice bright spring color in here, and then just a nice green shrub during the summertime. So right behind it, this is going to be perfect. It's kind of fun to have like a little tiny shrub and then have some taller perennials behind it. But those are David Phlox. which is a nostalgic kind of plant for you.
Those blooms, like in the evening time, glow.
Yeah.
It's like they're just glowing. They're so bright and pretty, and I wanted to see that. I'll see that from the kitchen.
Oh, that's
when
fun.
I'm looking out, so that's going to be so pretty.
There's the tag. They grow 3 to 3.5 feet tall. So it should be really pretty. And there was only 4 left at the garden center. So I think, Monica, you were thinking about putting maybe a few more right back in here just to kind of fill in that space.
Possibly going over that way with them.
Yeah,
just doing a whole drift of them.
That would be really pretty. This tree here is an autumn brilliant serviceberry. And they did talk to the neighbors already just to make sure that they were okay with all these plant placements, which I think was really nice of you guys. And they are actually, this neighbor here, by this tree, they were just getting a sprinkler system put in, and they're getting their spot set up too. So I think they're all excited to have, you know, shade, of course. But this one just got done blooming, but it grows 20 by 15, and so spring blooms and gorgeous fall color.
Such pretty fall color. And the berries are actually pretty tasty.
Yeah, they are.
If you get them before the birds do.
Saskatoon berries.
Yeah.
Right down here, an Ivory Halo Dogwood, which is another favorite of yours, isn't it?
And Nick's. Nick loves that variegation.
Does he?
The white and green. So we were thinking, like you said, maybe hostas.
Oh, yeah.
The white and green variegated hostas.
You might need to watch, because right now it's almost 4. And it's still pretty sunny over here.
And the more we get into summer, it's going to be light later. Oh, so maybe not. Darn.
I would
just, we can do that in the front.
Yes, I would just double check before. I mean, this is going to be pushing it, but I can see it's starting to be in the shade right now. So you might be okay.
Everything we like is like every plant that Nick points out to me, I'm like, that's a shade plant. That's a shade plant.
I know it.
And we don't have very much shade.
Not yet.
No.
You will.
Yeah.
This right here is a Twombly's Red Sentinel maple right here. We also had one of these in our townhouse garden. I'm not sure why we don't have one in our new garden, because they're gorgeous. These stay fairly narrow and 15 feet tall, maybe 10 to 15.
Like at the most.
At the most.
Yeah,
maybe
really don't.
It's like right around 10.
Maybe so. Yeah, they don't get very tall.
Well, Japanese maples typically don't in our area. We don't have the area that they favor.
It's tough for them here.
It is.
Yeah.
This here is a Blue Angel white pine, and then some wintergreen, peppermint pearl wintergreen, which has really pretty pinky white berries on it, which clearly we will plant as soon as this project is done. Oh, is it so nice to have your patio kind of clear and like most things. I know you have a little pile right there.
But I finally got all my herbs potted, so now they're not just drooping. You know, every day I'd come home to water them, and then poor mint would just be, you know, looking so sad. And then there's the Japanese maple Nick picked out for the front yard.
Yeah, look at this one. It's so pretty. Tamukeyama. Really, really pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to stand back here and kind of just take a look. So first of all, I love it. We were just sitting up here enjoying a snack after we were done, and like looking down here and kind of seeing the layers, and just imagine a nice little patch of real pretty green grass that will cool this area and it will bring some weight. And then you look out this way and you can see the beautiful arbor, and look at this.
It's so beautiful. I'm so excited.
So the next step is going to be raised beds. I think we're going to tackle that maybe in the next weekend or 2, because I want to get them in time for you to plant peppers and tomatoes and stuff. But we do have our plan. We've got it kind of mapped out now that we've done all of our measuring. Thank goodness that's done. We know that everything's going to fit nicely. So yeah, we can get going with that. We're going to be bringing back drip supplies as well. Pedro's going to be, like I said, connecting the little elbow so that we can take off with drip. And then we'll get all of that set up, but it's just coming right along, and it's a super fun project. So anyway, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.